Hello everyone and welcome back to another must-see chess game by Judit Polgar against her opponent Peter Sinkovics, the chess international master from Hungary. And this chess game was played in 1990 in Hungary. So this is when Judit Polgar was young and when she was playing amazing chess. So let's see what happened in this chess game. Judit Polgar starts the game with e4, we have e6, and we have the French defense after d5, knight to c3, bishop to b4, e5, knight to e7, and this is the Winawer variation, and after pushing the e-pawn, that was the advance variation. Knight to e7, a3, bishop takes on c3. Capturing the bishop, and this is one of the most played moves, c5 and queen to g4 by Judit Polgar. So it looks like there are some weaknesses in the king side, but at the same time black is creating damaged pawn structure in the queen side. So black castled, bishop to d3, knight to d7, knight to f3, f5, queen to h3 by Judit Polgar, knight to b6, and lining the rook with the king, rook to g1, queen to c7 and bishop to d2, knight to c4, and Polgar played g4. So with not castling, with bringing the rook on g1, Polgar shows her intention to not to castle and unleashing a kingside attack. Knight takes on d2, king takes on d2, but that dark square bishop was irrelevant in this attack. So even though white lost the castling rights and losing the bishop, this does nothing to white's attack. So after moving the king, Polgar simply opens the g file. G takes on f5, knight takes on f5, and it is white to move. Now lifting the rook up, rook to g5, and after c takes on d4, basically Polgar wants to double the rooks, rook from h to g1. D takes on c3, so we can say that officially white is sacrificing two pawns. So after king to d1, queen to e7. And in this position, capturing the knight with the bishop is possible, and after capturing back, rook takes on g7 seems like pretty appetizing for white, but actually black is getting a lot of material. So we have rook to h5 by Judit Polgar. Let's see what happens if capturing the knight. If bishop takes knight, then black can capture back with the rook. And after rook takes on g7, white is threatening checkmate. So if queen takes rook, rook takes queen, king takes rook, and black is actually getting a lot of material. So for giving up the queen, black has two rooks, and also the bishop, and white has the queen and the knight. So black has some compensation. So in this position, after queen to e7, we have rook to h5, and Judit Polgar is attacking on h7. She is not playing the defender elimination move and then capturing on g7. After rook to h5, we have knight to h6, blocking with the knight. But in this position, if something like h6 instead of blocking with the knight, so after rook to h5, if let's say h6, then white has this very strong move, rook to g6, and white is threatening to play bishop takes knight, rook takes bishop, and then rook from h takes on h6. So let's play a random move, eliminating the defender after rook takes bishop, capturing, and if not capturing actually, we have this very beautiful combination, check, check, king takes rook, and then getting checkmated. And after rook to g6, bishop to d7, and then bishop takes on f5. After rook takes on f5, capturing. So if capturing the rook, then rook takes, and after moving the king, check. And after king goes down, actually it doesn't matter. black is getting checkmated again. So in this position, rook to g6 is a very strong move. This is why black is not pushing the pawn and black is blocking with the knight. Okay, so after rook to h5, we have blocking with the knight. But you might also ask what happens if pushing the g-pawn. This is the most simple one. Then simply capturing the pawn, rook takes on g6 and the h-pawn is pinned, and this is not good for black. So rook to h5, knight to h6, and it is white to move. Judit Polgar played a very strong move in this position. So what would you do if you had the white pieces? If I give you a few seconds, can you guess the next move of Judit Polgar? If you want, you can also pause the video and try to guess the next move. There is a winning move for white. Okay, so this is the move. Judit Polgar picked her rook and she landed on g7. What a move! A very beautiful move by Judit Polgar. And we have king takes on g7. What happens if queen takes on g7? Then rook takes on h6. So threatening to play rook takes on h7. So after rook to f7, white has a very strong move in this position. So can you guess that move? What would you do? Okay, of course, knight to g5, and queen can take the knight. This is forking the rook, and also h7. So if queen takes on g5, then rook takes on h7. After moving the king, of course, if rook takes rook, queen takes rook checkmate, so moving the king, check, but this is also getting checkmated and there is no defense. So in the real game, after rook takes on g7, we have king takes on g7, but Polgar simply captures the knight. We have defending on h7, so the immediate threat is rook takes on h7, and not actually winning the queen, but black is getting force checkmated. So defending with the rook, rook to h8, and then rook. What would you do? Actually, where is this rook going? Of course, rook to f6 by Judit Polgar, and the immediate threat is queen to g4, g3 or g2, and getting checkmated. All three of them are checkmate, so cutting the king off. So escaping king to g8. So in this position, the idea is after checking the king, blocking with the queen is the idea. And what would you do if you had the white pieces? Again, white has a very strong move in this position. Okay, so the move is rook to f4, of course. So threatening to play queen to g3 or queen to g2, checking the king, and after blocking with the queen, rook to g4 is winning the queen. So this is why in this position, white could not play rook to g6 because of this h-pawn, but right now white can bring the rook and pin the queen. So black pushes the pawn, but this move is actually not defending. So defending on g4, and Polgar goes back rook to f6, and she renews the threat. And actually there is no sensible defense in this position against queen check, blocking with the queen, and then rook to g6, pinning and winning. So the possible continuation, finally developing the bishop. Black is suffering big time because of not developing this bishop, and that was very bad, of course. Black had a very clunky position, and then the possible continuation would be something like queen to g3, only defense and pinning and winning. So if rook to h7, simply capturing the queen, and then knight to g5, okay, black is getting two rooks, but white has the knight and the queen against two rooks, and this h-pawn, also this e-pawn might fall. So the possible continuation after a5, queen to h4. So basically there is no sensible defense in this position. After queen takes on h5, white can also push the h-pawn and white is easily winning. So thank you so much for watching. And this was one of the notable chess games of young Judit Polgar. Thank you so much again. Stay safe, take care, and bye bye.